Hi, my name is Lubabalo Falakhe. I'd like to introduce myself as an upcoming entrepreneur. The reason why I chose this discussion is because of the fact that I'm an inspired entrepreneur. But the reason why I chose it is because I wanted to tell a story exactly of my background and my past, what influenced me exactly to start this whole discussion and to start all this journey of being an entrepreneur. In a matter of fact that I never actually grew up or decided to be an entrepreneur. This desire and this potential came about when I realized actually about the struggles that I've been through. You know, what makes an entrepreneur is not actually the academic and and the higher financial or family background. It's actually about the fact that how do you see yourself in achieving or in striving through your struggles. In my life story, I actually encountered many obstacles, but in myself I never get to the point that I look at myself and I felt sorry for myself, but I look at it in terms of how do I see myself getting through such situations. I remember giving myself a quote. I discovered a quote to actually strive myself through problems. There's a saying that I normally say is that life sometimes gives you, life sometimes is like a see-through glass, and it's like a brick of wall that is in front of you, but it's how you see yourself through that glass. So in myself, I actually threw myself, I actually saw myself through in the glass that I was actually encountered in and closed in. So I began my journey to start up companies, like business companies, after many obstacles that I encountered. Things such as there was one time where I actually decided to commit suicide, but actually that was a failed attempt where I ended up being hospitalized for a couple of months. And the consequences of that was the fact that I had to go through deep and serious surgical procedures actually to keep me going. And the other thing is just there were processes and there were things that happened that actually made me to lose exactly all the things was actually meaning closer to me, that was so closer to me. Things like losing friends, things like losing both your biological parents. I lost the study opportunity because at the time I was studying in a university, and then by day on, because of the influence of the problems that I had, I was actually expelled from school because my academic performance became very poor. So within those processes, I actually was at home unemployed. I had huge debts. I just experienced a lot of problems. I was involved in a car accident. So things just happened consequently, like each and every time. Like for instance, there were times like I used to ask myself, I wonder what is gonna happen after this situation. Let's say I get in a car accident, then the next 2 months I will sit down and ask myself, I wonder what next, what's the next challenge that is gonna be that I have to go through. But in all through that, I never actually got to the point that when I sit down and then just there was actually a time when I decided to commit suicide, but through the second chance that I was given in life, that's when I decided to actually look from now on. I'll take steps actually to empower myself to get where I want to be, where to get to the point where I achieve bigger dreams, because I knew from the fact that once I survived such obstacles, such hindrance, then I knew there was something bigger for me in life. So I decided myself to go and find myself actually. Privileged enough that I became a born again Christian. That's the main principle of my life. That's where I actually find out myself, where am I? But within the process of being a Christian, that's when I actually discovered that this is what my purpose in life. So I started to transcribe actually an autobiography about my life and about the struggles that I've been facing. And then I also wrote a booklet which is actually also in a process of editorial review in one of the companies here in Cape Town called NB Publishers. So I even wrote another book explaining about the experiences of me in my Christian lifestyle. And then from there on, I initiated two startup companies. One is a professional services company, and the other one, which I just recently started, is a mining company. So I concluded everything. I concluded the business plan documents, the other relevant documents. So far I've approached some of the potential and the prospect investors for them to actually invest in my projects. So by saying so, it's just I'm trying to portray that in life sometimes you can never stand in and give in to your situation. You can, the only thing that can make you to succeed is when you stand out when the problems give in, you know. So myself, I gave out when I was given in by problems, you know. So that's when I discovered the traits about being entrepreneur. That's why that's one of the things even I mentioned in the booklet that I wrote about being an entrepreneur. The entitlement of the title of the book is actually Entrepreneur: The Basic Principles and the Journey of an Entrepreneur. So that's where I enlist actually the basic things that people should be cautious about, people things that they should actually know about when you want to become an entrepreneur. So from there on, I encountered more problems. I encountered problems where I went to investors to sort of pitch my, my business ideas, to sort of invite them to become shareholders, to become investors in the project that I'm currently running. So in this current moment, I'm also speaking to the National Treasury Department, to other private banking enterprises and other corporate enterprises to actually engage them so that we can create an opportunity for the state to have their own independent revenues, like their own way to generate revenues, not actually for the state to just only depending on tax revenue. So I think mining is one of the opportunities where we can actually achieve that. To give you an illustration about what I'm saying, is just I made my thorough research about exactly how much the project can actually generate. I estimated close to 3.8 billion rands that a mining company which can generate. So that can be also a contributing factor to the national or provincial budgetary system, so that way they can take the money and then budget it in terms of providing social assistance and economic development for the country. So I think the challenges that I had in life, that's what motivated me and sustained me and inspired me to actually to come up with such ideas that can be also a motivation to others who sees themselves as being challenged by problems, that sustain and succumb them into the point of giving in rather than giving out, and stand out and be an overcomer. So in such short words, I give you my short words of the point and the discussion that I intend to engage in this interview. I thank you.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.